Hi, my name is Avikal, and this is the first of a series of videos to illustrate this page, which is called Beyond Self-Judgment. And this page is dedicated to freedom from a particular psychosomatic structure, which is called the inner judge. I've been working with this judgment and prejudices and guilt and shame and all the themes relating to self-judgment now for more than 20 years. And I haven't found yet one person who could not easily recognize the crippling effect of self-judgment on a day-to-day basis. Self-judgment means not only continued evaluation of who I am, what am I, what I do, how I behave, how I relate, how I live my life, but it's also a subtle and at times not so subtle form of self-sabotage. So to go beyond self-judgment means to understand on a very practical, experiential way how I keep losing myself, betraying my potential, making myself smaller, and more than anything else, how I live most of my life in a state of inner conflict. And how this inner conflict keeps manifesting as outer conflicts with other people, with situations, or with life in general. So beyond self-judgment is about freedom, is about discovering who I really am once that I'm not under the pressure and the stress of continuously having to deal with this inner dialogue with my inner judge. There are many names: inner judge, inner critic. The Zen master call it the barking dog because it's constantly there trying to bite your calves. Doesn't matter the name that we give. Superego is the name of Freud. The fundamental point is recognizing what are the effects of self-judgment in my day-to-day life. I discovered, even though it happened just by chance, the presence of my judge when I was very young. I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I was living in Venice, in Italy at that point. And as I was walking in the streets, I suddenly had this feeling of having around me something like a wall which was not solid, was transparent, and yet was dividing, separating me from other people and everything around me. At the moment, I only could feel how painful it was to have that experience of isolation. And I didn't have the tools to understand cognitively what it was. Later on, about 25 years ago, after a long process of inquiry and meditation, it became very clear that within ourselves there is this psychosomatic structure that constantly is involved in evaluating me. So giving me the value, constant pressure about what is my self-value. And how this inner dialogue was constantly there, pretty much 24 hours a day. Most of the time not in the conscious level, was more on the subconscious level, but it was there. The main reasons that brought me to really dive into this work was that two elements are fundamental to the presence of self-judgment: pain and stress around survival. So I started really looking into it. I started studying, and also I noticed that even people that had been meditating or doing growth work for many years, they, in this case I include myself, we were basically fundamentally unable to really integrate all our understandings into day-to-day life. And I asked myself, how does it happen? So I realized something that is one of the main functions of the inner judge, which is keeping the status quo, not allowing true transformation to happen. So no matter how much we effort, no matter how much we change, no matter how much we understand, and no matter how deep is our intuition and experience of life, there is a kind of inertia that tends to take us back to where we have been in the past. So it takes us back to our fundamental personality structure. So this page and these videos are dedicated to, step after step, to just starting addressing different elements which are basic to the understanding of our inner dialogue, our self-sabotage, our relation to guilt and shame, and our understanding of the presence of the inner judge, which, as I said, is a psychosomatic mechanism, which means is not only psychological, it manifests with a very strong and habitual web of tensions in the physical body. So stay tuned, and I will post another video soon. Thank you, and see you soon.